What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? How y'all doing? Like, share, and subscribe. I hope everybody's doing well today. Let me stop rocking. I'm tripping. How's everybody doing? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Top of the morning to you. I hope you have had a blessed Turkey Day. How many of y'all celebrated Thanksgiving? Bakari, what's up, man? Yeah, it's been a minute. Yes, it's been a minute. Where you been? Let me give me something to drink. Let's see if I can get something to drink. Mm-mm-mm. Bottle of water I got is frozen. Y'all think I live if I drink this tap water before we get our filter on here? Somebody said, "Don't do it, Mike. Don't drink that." The tap water where I'm at ain't that bad. We ain't got that Ohio. It ain't that bad. I'll just be honest. No, it's not that bad. You can smell bad water, like when you live in like in a bad county and they got all the chemicals in. Dogs won't even drink it until all of the shit gases come off the water. Y'all ever notice that? Yeah, dogs could tell, good water from bad water. And normally all it takes for, water to kind of balance itself out and to get rid of some of the gases that's in it and the shit that'll kill you is just to let it sit for a while. So you ever notice you run some water for your dog out the faucet or out the hose outside in the summer and the dog turn his nose up at it? Uh-huh. Until like 2 hours later. But yeah, the drinking water, the faucet water around where I'm at now, it's not bad at all. It's not. It's actually not. Yeah, my water froze, man. I'm a water fanatic. I hardly drink anything else. I've been drinking the most energy drinks I've drank in my life lately because of my new job, and I've been drinking them there. But straight water. Night Train, what's up, fam? Good to see you. Yeah, man. I was looking at before I start the topic because we back into my life, my testimony, and my deliverance. Uh, Before I start that, I don't say the Israel doctrine, brother. I was watching you this morning and I seen you again, got my name in your mouth again. But that's all right. I was just telling you, bro, yesterday, my goodness. I have never seen a brother like you, man. You are being beyond tenacious. Some people say, man, why you keep messing with Israel doctrine? Let him do his work. I know Israel. I know how to make that nigga work hard. hmm And if he ain't never called the FBI before, he gonna call him this week. I guarantee y'all. And since he done said he gonna call him, I'm gonna make him call him. Y'all don't believe I can make him call him? We gonna make him push that narrative. You gonna call the police? We gonna make you do it right in front of the whole community. That's what we want to see. We want to see you call the police, the FBI, and tell them Poppy is here. Go get it. That's what he done did. We want to see you pointing and shit like this. Like a nigga on the stand, pointing. Point a nigga out. Ahmed, pop, pop, bam. Get him, sir. That's what we want to see. You know? Yeah, I believe it. I believe it too. I believe I'm gonna make this nigga call the cops this week. Israel, all I'm gonna tell you, just be careful, brother. Be careful. You get a nigga to show up in all black, he ain't touching nothing, leaving fingerprints at your house. That's your business. That's your business. But this show make for good entertainment. Watching these niggas set each other up. I wonder what Donald Trump and, you know, the rest of the devil crew, what do they say when they see niggas on YouTube just feeding each other to the machine? Couldn't y'all whoop Poppy ass? Wasn't seeing Poppy crying on the fucking camera bad enough? No, I guess Poppy and Bambaataa are now equal villains, and I would imagine so. You know, they're both pretty terrible. But damn, man, can't you actually apply justice on your own without calling the man? God damn. What is that white shit on my shirt? Can't y'all whoop Poppy ass one good time? Can't y'all beat this nigga? Can't you do something else than calling the FBI, man? Once the motherfucking FBI get their tentacles in the conscious community, y'all can just, you might as well build conscious community part 2. Because it's over. Cheers. Once Israel doctrine do this, it's about 100 other niggas that's gonna go to prison too. Believe that. And Israel gonna go with the whole bunch. Because Israel ain't never paid taxes in his life. And in 10 years of him being on YouTube, fam, he don't get a lot of donations because now he's complaining about not having internet. Nobody won't help him. But if you getting at least $200-300 a year in donations, which you have, people paying your internet, sending all this, it's paper trail everywhere, bro. You getting all that lanyard for 10 years and you ain't paid a nickel in taxes. You're gonna slip down the same slippery slope. Because you on file, man, telling Poppy to do the same thing. You encouraging him to get, start fleecing. I got that shit on camera and it's on other people's channel and it's on your channel. You saying you did it over and over. You and Kev Gills, boy, y'all some silly niggas, man. But is that what we really need? Do we need the FBI, y'all? I'm gonna tell you, I don't. That's what I told these niggas other year. These cats that like to play. Let me make sure I got my Wi-Fi on, y'all, because I don't want no disturbances and shit. Let me know, Night Train. Let me know if there's a glitch when I click this on. So y'all let me know what's up when I do this, cause I don't want no bullshit. Let's see. Turn on. How about that? Did we change? Somebody let me know. And I'm gonna start with the revenue, man. I'm just giving certain people time to get in, cause this ain't for everybody. What I'm about to talk about, my life, my testimony, my deliverance is not for everybody. So y'all let me know. Did we get a glitch? It was different. Okay. So yeah, I did that because people like to call and shit when I'm on live. I don't know why people do that. That'd be like the devil make people do that shit. You be in a good role, or I be talking to y'all, and then somebody call me. A little bit. Okay. I appreciate that, man. It probably popped up the resolution a little bit before. And did y'all know you can change the resolution on your end too? I think even on the Wi-Fi. Hey, Miss Beverly. Good. See, told you I wasn't gonna forget about it. And that's what I was waiting on, so I could talk about this little topic, and then we'll jump into the topic. Yeah, it did raise it a little bit. Yeah. So Beverly say finally. Yes, we here. No, I'm gonna choke on this tap water, Miss Beverly. That's actually the best tap water I ever tasted. I ain't gonna lie. I was born in Detroit, man, and boy, you drink tap water in Detroit, you're gonna be messed up. He called the FBI. Hey, Hunter, how you doing, bro? He called them earlier. Did I miss that stream? That must be the little bitty short show he did. I'm gonna check it out after this. Mm-mm-mm. The nigga that started that already, calling the FBI on the phone, family. See, you sticking your finger in the lion's eye, trying to wake him up, putting your finger in his mouth, playing with the FBI. Do you think they play games, Israel? And I hope you fucking ready for what you about to, like the Pandora's box you about to open, my nigga. See that? I knew somebody was gonna see that? I'm not psychic. Hold on for a second, fam. Hello? Hey, I'm on the live stream, so don't say too much. All right. All right. Well, hurry up. Love you too. Bye. All right, y'all. I'm back. I'm sorry. Did y'all hear that? I'm trying to figure out because I'm on this different signal for my Wi-Fi, and I know can get calls while I'm on live, but I don't want to do the call-in show with this particular device. I want to always keep mine separate so I can kind of put my finger on certain things. What was I talking about before I took that call? I'm sorry. Because I want to get right back on that track. I hate that shit when people calling when I'm on live. And that was my lady, my wife. What was the last thing I said specifically? I remember the track, but I want the word for word. What did I say? What was I saying? You remember the last word? The last phrase? Well, I'll just take a stab at it like this. The FBI is not a toy. It's not alphabet blocks. And they ain't alphabet boys. That's right. See, I remember. The alphabet boys do not play. They are not toys. Don't you know? Don't you know? If you call the FBI and you volunteer your hand on top of this Pandora's box, you gonna open it, Israel. Don't you know that you gonna go down in history as the nigga that opened that box on purpose? No matter what, even if you had pure motivations, y'all just track with me for a minute. Even if your heart was pure, all the people from here on out, all they gonna see is this nigga here put his hand on the FBI Pandora's box, open the top. And I said it's about 100 other niggas in the community that's gonna go with Poppy, including Israel. If you do that, and you peeked in the box this morning, the brother say you done calling them and shit on the phone. You playing phone tag with the all over YouTube. I told y'all, this ain't about no child molestation. Cause ain't no kids been mentioned. When the last motherfucking kid y'all heard in this Poppy shit? Poppy think he's a child. But that's what I'm saying. The litmus test about this entire thing. If you love children, where's your work? Poppy can't even have other people's kids around him because he talked about raping children. Israel had child porn. Neither one of these can actually be a child pedophilia or molestation or abuse advocate. They're both disqualified. How the fuck is this about children? See, and if you think the FBI is stupid enough to look over that, because they good at manipulating people just like y'all are. This ain't about no kids. Y'all giving these boys donations like fools out here. This ain't about no children. Not between Poppy and Bambada and Izzy and the rest of the fools that's in it. It's not about no kids. Do I got to say that one more time for people to make sense of the shit? Niggas that done gave a Poppy $10,000 already in donations. They get mad when they hear that, what I just said. But I said the litmus test to find out who's genuine in all of this shit. Try to find a child and the cause of that child being championed in Israel Doctrine's mouth, in Poppy's mouth, or in any of the other Negroes' mouths around this. How many of y'all heard him say one baby's name? And other than the fact that they're both, really, all of them are disqualified. And disqualified and you got kids. That's bad. You want to rape Kev Gill's kids, but you got children. You calling other people's children ugly as roaches and shit and water bugs, but you got children. Don't that make you even disqualified from parenthood? Come on, fam. You attacking children. I'm just saying. Everybody don't think like me. Everybody don't think like me. But some people need to learn how. Bear every thought out to its fullest and last and least implication, and there you will find the truth. That's what's so important on meditating. Listening here. Listen in this house right now. I'm here alone. And if I wasn't here with you all on the live stream, I'd be sitting in this chair right now. Doing what? Meditating. Thinking. Thinking about everything. Bearing each thought out to its last and least implication. That's real thought. And I'm telling you, if y'all haven't realized by now, 2 years worth of grown men fighting over child molestation, and there ain't one child in the cause, something is fucking wrong. I work with children every month, and these niggas here, I told them the other month ago, a couple months ago, why don't you get some community service work with children? I do at one of the ministries that I deal with musically. Once a month, we work with children. And there you don't have to come out and tell people that. You could feel better about that, and it'll come across as wisdom when you speak. We'll be able to tell you love kids. Night Train hit it out the park. You heard me? It's a hustle for them dudes. It's a hustle. Home run. Night Train. Ms. Beverly said there are so many children in our communities who would benefit from um, our help. A girl with a nice hairdo or a boy with some nice clothing. Parents are struggling. Help them. Help them. You dig? Help them. Why are people sending Poppy money? He was on the air calling women bitch last night, like General Yohana. Call a woman a bitch or your wife a bitch until she thinks it's her name. I think he said bitch 17,000 times. Bitch, ho. Why y'all give money to that? I know not the people that follow me and rock with me, but those people. Why do y'all give money to that? Do you deal with that? Do you put up with that kind of shit in your regular life? You let people call you bitch in your face, and then you tell them, "Here you go. Here, take $10. Here go $50 for the abuse." People lie to you, come lie to you in your face. Oh, I want to help children. I want to take your kids to the movies, but at the same time, when I get real mad, I want to fuck Kev Gill's kids. How would you like it if I come fuck your daughter, your son? That's what the nigga said. And his followers say, "Oh, here's $150 for that one, Poppy. Go, Bobby." And you got kids in your house. See, when Israel Doctrine popped that Pandora's box open, the FBI gonna bring all of that shit up. And not only does the RICO case and the racketeering and the conspiracy dealing with your organizations out there, but they also deal with personal people's lives. Not only do they make you niggas snitch and turn coat on each other, but they will definitely take your children. Come on. Let's see, Miss Beverly said. Yeah, Miss Beverly, right. Give it to them, to the orphans and the widows. And what is y'all giving it to Poppy? Do you think Poppy got a Coach for Kids foundation? You think Poppy gonna be out in the Bronx giving out canned goods this year? This nigga ain't gave nothing to the community since he been on YouTube, but insults and threats. And he ain't gonna give taxes either. So I told you the FBI deal personally too. And he ain't gonna give up nothing to the people because he haven't given anything thus far. Not even community service for the children. To make these niggas go, to turn that knob in their back, you got to put a coin in these niggas. You got to put a coin in these niggas, and they got to have um, a box of Tide to sell. For them to do anything that remotely even resembles righteousness, you got to put a coin in these niggas' backs. If not, you don't get nothing but cussing you out like Poppy did y'all last night or the other night. This boy went and got full of Dayquil and went in on his audience, calling bitches, bitches, bitch, bitch, bitch. But that's them. We'll see. We're gonna watch it because I'm watching it like watching Saturday Night Fever or some shit on TV. I can't believe this boy calling the police, calling the feds on the air. Put your finger in the feds' mouth. Wake the lion up. And get 100 other niggas locked up this winter for Christmas. My life, my deliverance, my testimony. So when we left off with the story, we left off. I talked to you all about, and I left. I forgot this. We talked about when I first got to Louisiana, right? And I said a lot of y'all think that racism, mass racism out in the open through segregation and those things, y'all think that ended in the civil rights era. No. In Louisiana, the city that we moved to, the first one, the country town that I talked to y'all about, and I'm just backtracking because I want to visit this fact. That y'all know what kind of world you live in, goddamn it. Some of y'all motherfuckers gonna say, no, you lying. But I got witnesses, proof. In Southeast Louisiana, I'm not gonna tell you the particular city for one specific reason. But if you want proof, I'll bring somebody on and they'll testify for you. When we moved from Michigan to Illinois to Louisiana, it was 1987, I think 88, I don't know, something around there. We went into that town, and on the side of one of the buildings, it's like you see a lot of buildings stacked next to each other, and one of them gets taken down. They tear it down. There wasn't no painting on the wall between the buildings. There was no separation. When they tore the building down, they put writing on the side of the building. That had to be in the modern times, 70s and 80s. Somebody put stenciled, colored, and an arrow pointing to the back of the building. I'll bring on any one of my cousins, any one of the people that live in that town during that time, and let them testify for you. You want proof? I said a colored sign in Louisiana in the 80s, colored, pointing to the back. How many of y'all seen a real live colored sign? Then you take your ass to the back of the building. You want some coffee? In 1988 or 87, and I wish the water bottle come on. I saw with my own eyes colored a sign. Night Train says when I was a kid, he saw it. He saw it. This is the town that we moved into. Colored on the fucking building. There's a town next to it. It KKK everybody. I think the mayor of the town was KKK. You find hoods of cars taken off, lean the hood on the tree, and they write KKK. Right next to the town where I grew up. The first town in Louisiana. Then around that specific time, David Duke. Y'all think David Duke related to Luke Duke and the Dukes of Hazzard? Hell no. This is a racist that snuck his way up into politics in Louisiana. David Duke. A Ku Klux Klan member. Yeah. A politician, Ku Klux Klan. So you can imagine the culture shock for me. I'm a young man coming from Detroit. Born in Detroit, I'm a little boy. I ain't never seen no shit like that. I come to the town, it's got colored on the motherfucking building. Colored. When I'm riding down the street in the car and look out, and somebody got a hood snatched off a car. KKK. Peace, Blackwood. Cosmos, I see you too. Then get around the people. The racism in Louisiana is like this. Mwah. Just like mwah. Perfect racism. It's an even plane of racism. Black people absolutely fucking detest white folk. And white folk absolutely fucking hate niggas. These honkies hate Negroes so bad in Louisiana. Still that way today. But it's a perfect, just perfect hate. If a race war were to start, I guarantee you, it wouldn't first start in Los Angeles. It would start in Louisiana and then spread all through the Gulf Coast. Because it's more take a stick at in the Gulf Coast. And there are Black Panthers still today in Louisiana. Shout out to H. Rap Brown in Texas. Shout out to Bobby Seale. Shout out to Brother Swat. Shout out to the Black Panther Party, the new Black Panther Party. Shout out to the Huey P. Newton Gun Club. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I said shout out to the Huey P. Newton Gun Club. Man, yeah, I love Brother Swat, man. I watch all that. I'm with all that. But the South is where the race war would start. Because that's where the people down there with the guns and with the heart to do it. And where I said the racism is perfect. Perfect racism. Balanced hate. That's why you don't hear too many lynchings and shit. You hear them every now and then. When these honkies catch a nigga walking down the gravel road and they catch you, snatch you, throw you up on a tree or something. But you don't hear too much of that shit in the South because, again, white folk hate niggas and they say it. And Negroes hate, perfectly hate. Just like some good goddamn, a good meal, that's, ooh. Negroes hate honkies in the South. The awake and alive Negroes. Now, I have a bit of that in me. And it's in me because, not because I experienced racism in Detroit, not because I've experienced racism in Illinois, but because I experienced racism in Louisiana. Mm-hmm. Listen, when I get to this particular high school part of my testimony, y'all gonna hear about me and often beating up white men and white young men and we used to throw them in the dumpsters, slam the top down on them, all that. Perfect racism and perfect hate in the South. It breeds that. And I got a bit of that in me. I have to be honest. I'm not a racist. I just love myself. Like Nature Boy said, I love myself. What is this? What Nature Boy be doing when he do this? Just the booty hole symbol. Is this the anus symbol? But I love myself and I love Black people, family. Not a racist. Not a racist. So when I get to Louisiana from metropolitan inner city, non-rural, super urban Detroit to super rural but super confusing, Louisiana. Because you would think that a rural area in the country ain't no gangsters. You would think that ain't no dope dealing. You would think there ain't a lot of Negroes that'll kill you and all that. All that in the woods and shit in Louisiana, deeper than in the LA and shit. But the culture shock when I got there and I seen the racism, even in the schools, then I seen the level of education, even in the schools. Then I seen the great affluence and level of wealth. I was even more confused because I'm saying, where do people get all this money from? What is y'all doing? I'm gonna tell you where they was getting the money from when I talked to you about my homeboy Trinity Burton. And shout out to my homeboy Trinity Burton. I love my homeboy Trinity Burton. Me and him grew up together, and we did the good, the bad, and the ugly. Yes, Louisiana's bad on education, and they've been closing down schools for the longest. Right now, I think in Louisiana they have a Montessori type schooling system, and it's more centered around developing trade, and I think that's effective. You know, because most people in Louisiana and throughout the South tend to make their own niche employment. You know, and that's a common mainstay. Even from when I was younger. But now, like I said, the family said here, education is historically been kind of bad in the South. But at the same time, now I think they're doing a Montessori kind of schooling system, and they revolve it around trade. You know, kind of like a lab school type thing in a lot of these parishes in Louisiana, and a lot of the South is yes, a lot. But a lot of the South is extremely rich. So balancing that and my confusion as a child, seeing that great affluence and low education, big yards and broken English. I I saw that the racism, like I said, in the 80s, I saw with my own eyes a colored sign. I come from Detroit, get to that cipher in Louisiana, and I dive into it because ain't no going back. Your mom took you from Detroit. You ain't finna go back on your own. My daddy out there drinking, enjoying his time alone. He ain't finna come no time soon to get us. So I learned to immerse myself in the South, immerse myself in country living, immerse myself in that life, and I learned to love it. I learned to love it. I learned to love the smell of the air. I learned to love the sound of the birds chirping. I learned to respect nature and even the animal kingdom, for real, from living in the country. And so in my last stream, I left off talking about my grandfather and grandmother. And I want to start right there. My grandfather and my grandmother, like last generation slaves, my grandmother was a sharecropper. She got her house through working in the fields. My grandfather lived in the same city where Britney Spears grew up at. They pulled her out of the wretched muck and mire. My grandfather was there, and my grandfather was one of the most amazing men I've ever seen in my life, especially with animals. and nature. I have that picture. I'm gonna put it up on the thumbnail, probably on the next part. My grandfather standing on the backs of two Tennessee walking horses. I don't know if y'all know what that is. Let me take these gloves off before Israel Doctrine gets scared. I think I won't. Oh, Michael Edwards got on gloves, police. This nigga got on gloves. Well, my grandfather, he was a great man. 6'6", played the guitar. Yeah, 6'6". I have a picture of him, like I said, standing on the backs. One leg on this horse, one leg on that horse. The reins in his hand. Him standing on the back of two Tennessee walking horses. And them horses, you don't just stand on their back. I remember I had a dog. And this was actually later after we had got my grandfather out of that town. Because I told y'all that my grandfather had basically made his house a prison. He didn't leave the town for over 20 some odd years. My mama went and got him, snatched him from all of that once we got established in Louisiana. But I had a dog, and this was later after we moved out of the country into a more like uh, urban area in Louisiana. That's where I met my friend that I told y'all his name, Trinity Burton. You know, my friend, my homie, my brother. I had a dog, and it was like a half mutt. And I was a kid, you know, I wanted a dog with a short tail. So what did I do? Listening to ignorant niggas tell me, well, just take a rubber band and put on the dog's tail. I put a rubber band on the dog's tail, Miss Beverly, and his dog almost died, goddamn it. It's not funny. It's not funny. The dog almost friggin' died from me putting this rubber band on his tail, right? Infected and everything. Dog stopped eating. It was bad. My grandfather said, what is this? What is going on with this dog? I said, well, I'm trying to make his tail fall off. He said, that ain't how you make no dog tail fall off. The dog wouldn't even come to me no more because he was hurting that bad. Any way you touch the dog, you rub this motherfucker head, he hurt. Rub him on the nose, his ass hurt. Bad shape. My grandfather Cosmos said, bring the dog to me. I had to go chase the dog because it wouldn't come to me no more. Motherfucker like, you done did this to me. I don't know what you done did to me. I get the dog, finally bring it to my grandfather. My grandfather said, go over there and get me that motor oil. I said, what you gonna do with motor oil? You gonna pour that on the dog and light him up? That's my mind as a child. What are you gonna do with motor oil? Said, go get me that motor oil from by the tree. I went, got the pan, the motor oil, brought it to my grandfather, sat it next to him. He's holding the dog by the neck, like by the skin, holding the dog. The dog trembling. She's scared, or he's scared. Grandpa, he told me, you got any food? And between the time when he said, you got any food, I looked around for the food that I had to actually catch the dog. I heard, and he took the motor oil. When I turned around, he had a handful of motor oil. His knife was on his lap, and the dog's tail was on the ground. He popped the dog's tail off while I had my head turned. He threw the motor oil on the dog's tail, put some dirt in the motor oil on his hand, put that on the dog's tail, jammed and packed it in there. The dog was shaking and everything. But guess what? 2 weeks later, this dog looked like this bitch had been to the vet. motor oil and dirt and a pocket knife. Pop that tail off. My grandfather, he had an answer for everything. I had a cold, a bad cold. I felt like I was gonna die cold. Grandpa told my mama, said, "Don't get that boy no antibiotic. Come and give me." He got the Vicks salve, the Vicks vapor rub that you put on your chest. He put his pinky finger in it, big old pinky finger. He's 6'6", like you putting a stick in that mug. Big old pinky finger, and he said, "Eat this." A little finger full of that Vicks salve. I said, "Grandpa, you were crazy." Eat it. I ate that shit, and I went to school a couple days later, coughing up all the cold. Y'all don't try it. Don't try it. I'm just telling you what happened with me and my grandfather. Vicks vapor rub. My grandfather was around when I went to prison the first time. He the one that came and knew where to find me at when I was hiding out at. I mean, nigga, don't you know the police pulled all the way up to your mama's door? The sheriff cars, they pulled all the way up to my mother's door in the yard, family. But my grandfather, I got to meet him and my grandmother. And for a time, I had both of them in my life. Very important time of my life because I got to know who I am because they taught me who I am. They taught me my pedigree. They taught me what they had to go through and what I didn't have to go through. They taught me who my mother was because I got to see who my mother was because of her heart toward my grandfather and my grandmother. I got to see my mother say, you know, although I got these two boys and two daughters in school and we struggling, I am doing well enough that I can go and get my daddy out of that town. He ain't left and he up in his own prison. Mm. My grandmother loved my mother enough to say, listen, live with me. And even after you live with me, you come back, from your Detroit and you come back here, live with me and I'm going to take care of you even when you move out. Don't worry about no food. I got to see love between my grandfather and my mother. And through all of that, I got to learn whom I was, whom I am, even who I want my children to be. Because that's most important. When you get sociopaths, it's most specifically because there's no home unit and there is no basic training, no home training. And home training is not always having to do with clean the toilet, clean your room. Home training can be my grandfather I knew was a great man, uneducated and all, broken home, but a great man. There stood a standard in my life that said I can't walk around here and be a piece of shit because I got to be accountable to at least my grandfather's standard. Hmm. I can't treat my family anyway because my mother didn't treat her family anyway. Exactly, I was about to say how to conduct myself not only with my family, but when I'm alone. Why? So that I can get back to my family. You see, I lost a lot of friends in school, and those friends that I lost, their family lost them also because they didn't know how to conduct themselves at all. They had no boundaries, nobody to look up to, no one to fear, no legacy to uphold. See, my last name, although it's white folk from Europe, definitely England, definitely. We'll talk about that a little later too. I have a knowledge of whom I am and my family, and that makes me proud of whom I am and what I've become as a man. That's an important part of any productive man or any productive woman's life. And that gives right now the responsibility to us fathers and mothers, no matter, to what extent life fucks up your relationships or your relationships with your children, you still have an obligation to your children to death. And the children have an obligation to the parent to death. And so goes the community. Mhm. That's the rubric that the Bible lays out. Honor God, honor mother and father, your earthly gods, sister, brother, neighbor, right? This is what created me. Some of the people asked me, I had a dude ask me the other day. He said, Man, you one of the realest cats I ever seen in my life. I said to him, it's not me that's real. It's that I really learned from the real people God put in my life. I really learned some real lessons. And I'm not perfect. Ask my children, am I perfect? They'll tell you, hell no. One of them probably had say, hell no, that nigga ain't right. But I love even him, one of my sons, and I know me and him bump heads like crazy, and we don't have a good relationship. But even he knows who he is, don't you, boy? Hmm. And so I said all of that to say this. Listen, through every change, every up, down, the most important thing about life and about your ability to become a productive person in your own life and in your community is family. Don't y'all never, ever forsake your mother, your father, your sister, your brother, your cousins, your in laws, no matter how crazy they are, no matter how sick and stupid. The most important thing is what creates you family. Granted, some people's family done fucked them up. But the most important thing in a healthy environment is family. Now, y'all thought I was gonna talk about dope and shit and shooting niggas and selling guns. Not yet. Not yet. I told you this is gonna be a long series. Now, I'm gonna close on this. My grandfather and my grandmother, both of them, they separated just like my mother and my father separated. But here's another commonality. They didn't go far. And let me encourage you all. Excuse me. You in your relationships and you got kids. Even if you break up, don't stray too far from each other. Why? Because your children deserve the presence of their predecessors and their ancestors to some degree, even if it's just your immediate. ancestors, your own mother and father, or your grandfather and grandmother. Mhm. It's very important for a child to know where his dad is, even if you're not in their life. And it's important to sometimes for that father to go to where that broken home is, to kind of forsake your shit sometimes. I even did that because this is my second marriage. Don't y'all think this is the first time I ever got married? No. I got divorced. But guess what? Even myself, same parallel between my mother, my father, my grandfather, my grandmother, it happened to me. Split. But I went to where my children were to make sure that we separate at least in peace. You know, your last time you see daddy ain't me going upside your mama head or some shit. What am I saying? Even when there's no peace, create civilized time, create civilized soil for the children to be rooted in. Why? Because family is most important. You demonize your husband because y'all shit broke up. What your child is gonna go to for daddy? It's got to be this new nigga that you bring in. A child should be able to say, I know my dad don't live with us, but he live in Harlem. So I could call him if I need to. You don't know how much that helps even a child's body grow. Just to know, even if you can't show. And I got that from my grandfather, grandmother, mother, father. Both of those relationships, they solidified that in me. Even when you stray apart, don't go far. And when you stray apart, leave peaceful soil for the sake of the children. Hmm? Bless you, brother Bazu. Man, you make me smile every time I see you, huh? Every time I see you coming. Thank you, Blackwood. Thank you very much. And as I told y'all in the beginning, I despised my growing up for a long time as a young man because I wondered why, things had to be that way. But man, when I tell you, I learned to appreciate it, you know, I learned to appreciate it, family. So I'm telling y'all, don't despise the way you grow up. Even if you had that hellish household, go back and look at what could have been. Hmm. I told y'all, if I would have lived in Detroit and grew up in Detroit, I'd have been dead a long time ago, family. God made that clear for me, and it's going to become clear to you the more we get into this series, but I'm taking my time with it because I want to highlight certain important things. Yeah. So now, Miss Beverly, you got to do this 100 times. Miss Beverly is like my alarm clock. Miss Beverly keep me on point. Miss Beverly said, "Don't put no goddamn alert up here. Don't do it." Yeah. Yeah, man. I love Miss Beverly. Y'all subscribe to Miss Beverly channel. These niggas trying to tap into Miss Beverly channel, trying to get money and steal. Miss Beverly sent me a screenshot with a nigga using my face, asking her for super chat money, and I don't even use super chat. These niggas out there bad, y'all. See what that goddamn tree do to you? That fucking Christmas tree will make you kill a hungry child. So you can bow down to that goddamn tree and put your gift under there. We're gonna bring that into the lesson too. Yeah. I changed the alerts on a lot of the things, man, to kind of weed people out because I don't want everybody watching my streams. I know I'm gonna put this public, but I don't want everybody to see this. I want the people the Most High wants to hear it and see it. You know what I mean? So I sometimes I'll be changing the times of the shows, to throw off, the dogs of hell chasing me on the internet. You know what I mean? Yes, sir. Night Train said you warned us, and I heard fleecing. Bless you, family. Bless you for your hearing. Real talk. So now, y'all, with that said, and y'all know I almost threw this damn jacket away because see the zipper. This one of them brother polite jackets, man. Goddamn zipper off to the side, nice little neck on it. The turtleneck. You can't wear no turtlenecks no more, y'all. Don't let me see none of y'all on. Poppy, don't let me see you on the internet with a turtleneck, brother. Don't do it. I might make 1,000 videos on it. But this one of them brother polites shirts, man. This don't fit like a normal conventional. I almost got rid of this, man. Cause like this goddamn zipper ain't right. It's supposed to be like that, so it could lay up under the. Yeah, brother polite, stay starting on. I ain't gonna start though. It's cold still outside this morning. It's only. See, I'm not lying. It's only 8:30. 8:30, and the flat Earth people. They done shut up about flat Earth, y'all. I told the brother, I said, God damn, y'all done got so crazy. Flat Earth people, y'all now saying the sun is moving across the earth. And the brother, listen, you sitting here looking at me live. The sun's still up, and it's pitch black over there where you at. What's your explanation? Oh, well, the sun's trajectory across the surface of the plane of the earth is, nigga, please. I got a lecture on Dagger Squad. Yeah, man, no mountains. Flat Earth. I tell them, what is all this shit out here? What is these mountains? What does plate tectonics have to do with a flat Earth? Why would the ground move on a flat Earth? You feel me, Night Train? Night Train. I got a good lecture I did on Dagger Squad, Garfield's channel. And man, I lit into two flat earthers. They came on the line because I said, listen, I want to take questions. Brother, come on there with that bullshit. I'm giving fact. I broke down the Coriolis effect. I don't know if y'all know what that is. We'll talk about it one day if y'all want. The Coriolis effect. And its non-deviation in all of recorded history. The fact that hurricanes spin in a certain direction in the northern hemisphere and hurricanes spin in a certain direction in the southern hemisphere. An intelligent person, right there at that point, you don't have to go any further. Why? If you have two hemispheres, you have no flat earth. But I went beyond that. I went into all of the Coriolis effect and all that. And even how the Coriolis effect affects not only meteorology, but the Coriolis effect affects trajectory of bullets spin and, whether it's going to hit its target at long distances or not, even intercontinental ballistic missiles. Y'all got to see this lecture. It's on there. Man, I destroyed Flat Earth good. And I don't know what happened. Brother Sanchez after that lied, talking about he wanted to debate me, and this nigga here running 100 miles and running, family. Sanchez, I had to make a video about Sanchez to get him to stop talking stupid. Sanchez out there rapping with one glove on like this, family. One, not two gloves, one glove. Rapping with Indian burns on your knees and one glove. Abazu, this brother had his wife in the video. Talking about if the bitch ain't fucking, then I tell her hold a scram. Nigga, that's your wife. If the bitch ain't sucking, then I tell her hold a scram. Nigga, that's your wife. Abazu said a Michael Jackson starter kit. Yo. Yeah, I don't know. This nigga had a green kitchen glove on to get dishes with. My Lord, have mercy. Oh, my God, man. Poor wife ain't got no booty cheek. Let me not talk about this man wife. But she was flat. Y'all not do that shit again, Sanchez. And Sanchez and lost his motherfucking mind. He Jesus just like Nature Boy say he Jesus. All these niggas want to be Jesus. Look, I put too much out here. I don't want to put too much of this lip gloss on like Poppy. Poppy opened his lip gloss from this end. I mean, his lip chat from this end, family. This nigga here sprays black magic on his mouth. You get too much of that shit on the Carmex tube or the lip balm or the straight up lip gloss package, Poppy. Wipe that shit off, nigga. Y'all heard my stomach growling? That means the time to go. Yeah, he used chicken fat. Y'all ever Abazu said a brother used chicken fat. Chicken fat, you hear me? On his mouth. That's not what I think it is. Because this nigga live be having a sheen that ungodly sheen to it. Fuck. But yeah, man, it's good talking to y'all now. We done reached over an hour, so part 7. It's Beverly, I don't know when. Smell like a chicken dinner. Night Train, Abazu. Do y'all remember that Crisco can they used to sell that shortening? Our mamas used to get when they didn't know no better. That hard white grease to come in that big ass can. That's the shit Poppy used on his mouth. Shortening, you hear me? Straight up whale fat. Eddie, I see you in there. Oh wow, Eddie Thomas, what's happening, family? Eddie say you use Johnson and Johnson. Use that baby oil. How about baby oil, fish grease, chicken fat, Crisco, and lard, and black magic. And a Fufu S curl juice from the 80s. So that activator. Anyway, y'all, peace, man. I love you. And come on back. Part 6 or part 7, whichever one we are. And Izzy, get away from Rico, man. Rico gonna kill you. People still use lard. They still so do. Taz used that beard butter. That's what's in beard butter. Ooh wee. Between Poppy's lips and Tazariak's beard, I don't know who got the most sheen. I'm gonna do a side by side. Tazariak got that beard butter rubbed in so deep, man. It gets, you can see little droplets of it when the sun get really hot on this Negro.